a document, or publish a document with a scenario of a pandemic relating to an influenza strain pandemic. And again, everything they said would happen in that scenario in 2010, Rockefeller Foundation, is exactly what's playing out. I mean, in real detail. So the World Health Organization is directing this. It's headed, just a figurehead, by a guy called Tedros. He's been a member of the Marxist government in Ethiopia. He was health minister, got caught for covering up cholera epidemics 3 times. Nice man, just who you want as head of the World Health Organization. But who's the second biggest funder of the World Health Organization, second only to the United States? The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.